Is Social Security going to run out? The 2024 Board of Trustees of Social Security annual report just came out and celebrates that due to the strong economy and new expectations that the Social Security Trust Fund will last one more year than expected. But that's 2035, and that's only about 10 years away. So is there something that we should be worried about? Is there anything we should be doing? In today's video, we're going to talk about what is the trust fund, how did this problem happen, and what might be some feasible solutions to help fix the problem. Let's dive in. So what is the trust fund? Think of the trust fund as Social Security's savings account. Social Security is primarily funded through payroll taxes. Anytime you see FICA on your paycheck, that's what's going towards Social Security. And for many years, Social Security was making more money than it was giving away. However, over time, that has changed. And there are more people pulling money from the system than contributors adding to the system. So what ends up happening is the trust fund helps supplement the difference. So how did we get to this point? Well, there's a lot of different factors, but the main themes are there's just more people collecting from the system than there are paying into the system. What does that mean? Well, first let's look at the fertility rates of the United States over time, because the people who pay into the payroll system are the people who are working, and typically people who are pulling from the system are people who are retired. So the more babies and the more people in the country, we have more taxpayers to help fund the system. But over time, the overall fertility rates in the United States has decreased. So that has reduced the replacement factor of people leaving the workforce and people entering the workforce. The other factor is that people are just living longer. People are staying on the Social Security system much more than what was expected. So this mix of we're having less babies, meaning we're having less workers enter the workforce, and the people who are collecting the system are staying on Social Security for longer, is creating this gap of funding. And that's why the trust fund is slowly depleting. So what happens if the trust fund is exhausted? It doesn't mean that Social Security payments stop altogether. If Congress makes no changes and 2035 comes and now the trust fund is down to zero, Social Security would be cut by 15 to 20%. But there will be changes made. And let's talk about what's the most feasible options, both fiscally and politically, that Congress can do to help fix this problem. Social Security is an important program. It covers over 70 million Americans through retirement and disability benefits. So this shouldn't be a political issue, but unfortunately it is. So to take a look at what can be done to help fix the trust fund, we need to look at what solutions have the least amount of political blowback, because that's just how it works. So let's dive into what are some options that Congress can do that they might actually do. One of the first things I think Congress will do is raise the Social Security wage base. And historically, that is what they have done. Now, the Social Security wage base is the maximum amount of income that payroll taxes for Social Security are charged on. So someone who makes $500,000 per year pays into Social Security the same as someone who makes $168,000 per year, which is the current wage base amount. So politically, I could see them raising this wage base potentially significantly for higher income earners. The second thing that they might look to is increasing the taxability of Social Security benefits. So based on your income, Social Security is either 0% taxed, 50% taxed, or 85% taxed. It's never 100% taxable, but I could see them raising that or changing that formula again, for higher income earners. Politically, it's easier to raise taxes on higher income earners, and it's much harder to raise income taxes on lower to middle income earners. A third thing they could do is increase the payroll tax percentage rate. But I really don't know if they're going to do this because, as you can see, historically, that is something that they've really not changed. And politically, it's very hard to raise taxes on American workers for a politician. It is very unlikely that they change the age to start Social Security, especially for people who are about to file. Now, what they might do is take a look at younger workers and adjust the full retirement age benefit number based on the year of birth. So you can see what the current full retirement age numbers are. It's a graduated schedule, and I could see them adding a new level potentially for birth years after 1980 or after 1990, and potentially raising the retirement age for them. But it's going to be very unlikely that they increase the age for their most prized voting bloc, who are people over 60. So what can you do about this problem with Social Security? Well, really, there's only two things that you can do. One is you can reach out to your local congressperson and let them know that you're concerned about the program. And two, you can vote for whoever you think is going to help fix the solution. But as far as planning goes, I don't think it's prudent to plan for the demise of Social Security. Even if the trust fund runs out and there's no changes that are going to be made, there's still income that comes into the system each year. So planning for an ultimate no Social Security benefits at all, I don't think is wise. If you're worried about Social Security in the future and you're doing your planning, maybe you look at a reduced cost of living adjustments. Maybe you look at running a plan where we have 80% of the expected Social Security and seeing how things look. But Congress is going to make some changes. Hopefully this video was helpful. Hopefully this video helped educate on how the Social Security Trust Fund works. And also hopefully it helped ease some concerns about that there are solutions that can help fix the Social Security problem. If you like this video, please hit like or even subscribe. I really appreciate you watching, and I'd love to hear what your thoughts are on Social Security. My name is Nick Scheibner with Supportive Financial. Thank you very much for watching. Take care.